did have a little bit of a peek into the MLBB community groups, and there are a lot of interesting memes. So I'm looking forward to see some creative one-liners. But as of yet, now the game continues. This is going to be the Group B's first match of the entire season itself, and it's going to be HOMEBOIS going up against Red Esports with HOMEBOIS on the blue side.
It's the drafting phase. HOMEBOIS going to kick things off, banning out the Fanny. Very understandable here. Zayed has shown some very strong capabilities, and those who have made the mistake of leaving it open in Season 9 have definitely paid the price. Red Esports, on the other hand, respond with Valentina, must bans coming all the way through, followed up by HOMEBOIS with the Akai.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what HOMEBOIS is going to be playing in terms of playstyles, right? We had an argument in previous season where Anip has a little bit of a limited hero pool when it comes to his hero choice. But hopefully Expedia is going to be able to set up the tempo to buy time for him, knowing that he did play for SPMG. He did have successful results during his run in the MPL region. And I'm looking forward whether or not can he do the same for HOMEBOIS.
Well, here's the thing. HOMEBOIS play around their two main playmakers, Chibi and as well as Supat. Whether Expedia can actually enable them or actually give the call for the rest of the team to do so, people like Vince and Anip who are solid in lane and solid in these team fights, it really comes down to who is going to be the weak link. And we don't know. Season 10, a lot of things have changed, and this team has been together for more than over a year.
Yeah, they do. They have shown a lot of growth over the seasons as well, and it's just a little bit unfortunate the previous season, but this time, clean slate, tickets on the line. I think it's about time to go all out. However, talking about the drafts here, a little bit different compared to previous games. Natalia completely ignored as of yet. 1-1 still in the picture. Xavier not even touched at all thus far.
Let's not forget that Julian has been the follow-up ban coming in from Red Esports, and to finish things off here in the first phase of the bans, HOMEBOIS decide to ban out Ling.
I think Ling is a good reference point just because of how things went down during MSC when it actually happened in Malaysia. Well, we're in Malaysia, but at the same time, almost every single game, people were thinking like, hey, Ling is off meta, but the power of the Ling is not just of his toolkits of the skill, it's his ability to play on a macro skill when it comes to taking objectives. And we were able to see how Tora was able to demonstrate it not once, but twice in a row against Suaz Esports. So it makes a lot of sense why HOMEBOIS just doesn't want to take the chance to play against a Ling.
Speaking of a macro sense here, Wanwan is going to be banned out almost instantaneously. It's understandable. If you are on red side, it's most likely you are going to ban out the Wanwan. The question is the HOMEBOIS, Chibi in particular, going to deny Zayed of his signature Hayabusa? We've seen it many times in Season 9. The question is whether or not it's going to actually work out here in Season 10.
Yeah, but as of yet, Tamos is still a top priority pick, especially based off the previous game. I feel like they might consider first picking the Tamos and potentially flex it into a very versatile role, but I might be wrong, but it seems like I am wrong, and it is going to be Yves being picked, and it's going to be a 100% win rate thus far throughout today's games though.
Rather interesting. Vince, last time a lot of his signature picks came around whether or not he had access to specifically either Selena or
Veil as well, Lilia as well.
Lilia
Yeah,
was
Lilia.
one. I was thinking Veil for a second there, but I got it mixed up with somebody else. But yes, Lilia in particular. However, Red Esports, on the other hand, we haven't seen two heroes that I'm really hoping to see rather in some time this weekend, right? I'm thinking about the Farmis, I'm thinking about the Vexana, whether teams are going to integrate that.
Yeah, I think Faramis is a good shout as well.
What?
Okay, as soon as they say it as well, the Faramis instantly gets picked off, and Red Esports, they also pick the carry on top of it all. That's a pretty early pick coming from Red Esports, expecting that HOMEBOIS might go for a tanky composition, but as of yet, I'm a little bit worried, considering that I do remember, based on the track record from HOMEBOIS, they do tend to lean on Vince being on the middle or last pick phase to keep his options open. I'm surprised they first pick it this time, making it open for both Anim as well as Supat. And the carry pickup coming from Red Esports, what are your thoughts on the Faramis with carry? Because I'm not exactly sure how they're going to be playing this.
I gotta think about this for a second, because the fact is, I saw carry first, and I was thinking, what could you pair with carry to make her somewhat viable, especially when when the first thing you see is a Yves who naturally has an insanely long range. And the fact that they have Farmas, I think it's an interesting synergy, right? But HOMEBOIS, they've got a very good response to this. We already have the Yves, which is pretty much a free win for us, but we're also going to pair it up with a Natalia as well as a Clint. Clint naturally will be able to push carry out of lane in the first few minutes of the game. Natalia to really press that advantage.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Red Esports, or was it Red Esports or Homeboys? One of them actually played a Hellcurt. With a Natalia as well as a Hellcurt, I feel like these are great heroes to deal with a Faramis, right? Before they pop out, just goes in for the silent, instantly one-shots the Faramis. And in this case, I'm a little bit curious on how Red Esports is going to be playing this Faramis, because there's been so many debates. You can play it mid, you can play it roam, you can play it XP. How are they going to play this Faramis? Is this going to be a roaming style, or is it going to be a mage style, XP laner style? That's going to be my question to Red Esports. However, they picked the Karina. That's going to be the jungle Karina in the hands of Red Esports.
I like this. I like this. Honestly, this is a very different drafting style compared to what we saw in our previous matchup of Group A. It's very much, you know, more meta-centric, and I'm kind of liking this because, again, it's been a while since we've seen Karina. Yes, there has been a couple of changes. We might see the full damage build coming out from this Karina. She still can go tank if you want to, but honestly, I think the full damage one just looks cool.
I was expecting the Beatrix or the Popo Kuba becoming a priority, but for both sides to pick a carry and a Clint, this is not a matchup I would be expecting here in Season 10, but at the same time, based on mobility that you need to kind of kite your way through, I think the Clint is a slightly okay-ish option when it comes to kiting against a diving comp with Faramis especially, and this is something that Red Esports is going to be able to do once the count altar is available on this Faramis. So that's going to be something that I think Homeboys needs to figure out on how to deal with that, or maybe play a little bit more split push compositions rather than taking a 5v5 team fight, knowing that these guys are unkillable.
Well, let's not forget that the cult altar has changed a little bit, right? Instead of, you know, giving you a completely, oh, you kill me, I come back to life, and then I just kind of do my own thing until I run out of time, it gives you temporary health. And I think it's important to know that when you do have this temporary health, you don't get a lot of it. Like, it's very easy to cut through it and get back to the original health, but it does give a window of opportunity for Red Esports to throw everything at the wall at the Homeboys. So I think their plan is to, hey, real world manipulation, no problem for me. Let's run in, let's fight. Coming down to the bans, however, it's going to be a lot of jungle bans. We're already seeing the Lancelot Hayabusa being banned out for the side of Red Esports. Homeboys targeting the EXP lane, getting rid of the Esmeralda. They don't want, I guess they don't want RenQT to really feel comfortable or to stall out this game.
I think RenQT is eyeing for that Thamos pickup, but at the same time, the Phoveus being banned, something is up. I'm really surprised by this Phoveus ban coming from Homeboys. Is it they're going for a mobility character? Lancelot is out, Hayabusa is out. What's a very mobile character that Phoveus can punish? And 1-1 is also out as well.
1-1 is already out. I mean, if we're considering what we have right now, we do see Natalia, she has a dash. Technically, the recoil net coming out of Clint is technically a dash as well. I don't think that's enough to consider for the Phoveus, so that would mean he wants to go for Paquito. Yeah, I would make an argument for Paquito here coming in from the Homeboys. I don't think it's that bad, especially when you're up against an arena matchup.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But Red Esports, they will get the Thamos on the XP lane. And in this case, Thamos is going to be having a pretty okay time. Against the Paquito, I think it's an okay, decent matchup. It's not that bad. It forces Sepa to actually go for it, but it's even though it's his signature, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go for it right now.
I don't know. Honestly, I would imagine if this wasn't the Homeboys, and specifically Supat, who is known to be playing Paquito in the EXP lane very, very often and very effectively, then I would assume, yeah, Paquito is definitely going to go into the jungle role. But now it's a little 50-50.
Hold that thought for now. What are the chances that this Natalia is actually a jungle Natalia?
Nope, don't see it happening. Because what's she gonna do? She's gonna sit in jungle. She's gonna sit in jungle, call her roamer to help her out because she doesn't have the base HP. And as soon as Karina finishes her first camp, she invades, instantly kills, and steals away the buff. It's not a fun time. I don't see it working out. Balmond, however, that's what I want to see. Benedetta on top of it all. This is gonna be some fun games. Fun indeed.
I think it's a safe pick just because of how Homeboys realize that the carry is going to be able to benefit from hard tanks. Going for like a hybrid tank to actually soak some ton of damage and do a decent amount is a pretty okay idea. But I feel like Sepat is going to have a pretty difficult time against Thamos. Like, he's not going to be able to do too much. But in terms of 5v5 team fight, I feel like the Thamos is going to benefit way much more in terms of sustains and tanky. And everyone from side of Homeboys is going to struggle to take him out unless they punish him rather early. So I feel like Expedia is going to have a very, very difficult decision. Who does he focus? Does he focus more on carry or just focus on shutting down the Thamos? And this final pick is going to be the Matilda, ensuring even more sustains. And that means Wait a minute. Is this
Yeah,
mid
continue on with that
Faramis?
Thor.
Is this a mid Far? It is a mid Faramis.
Yeah, it is mid Faramis here, and I think this is going to be really interesting because honestly, Miral, he's got a lot of work to be done, but his importance is that he is a delivery system as soon as that cult altar, and it is a big range. You walk out of it, it barely matters half the time. Red Esports, when they fight, they're going all in. There is no backing out. And if Red Esports isn't able to hold, again, get some form of kill or to stop when the Homeboys activate Vins, it's going to be a tough call, but this is it. The first battle of Group B. We have a composition design round team fights, some early stalling, but a Benedetta to make it as flashy as possible in the hands of Sabat. On the other hand, we've got a combination. The first time we are seeing Faramis here entering into the land of Dawn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be game one between Homeboys versus Red Esports. And I'm looking forward to see how things are going to go because Homeboys, they've made their piece, and that's going to be Sabat going to be helping out on Chibi with his farm before he actually goes up the lane. So a little bit of escort system coming in from Homeboys for now.
Personally, I like it because it's just a small micro mechanic that abuses Benedetta. The fact that she can get around the map really quickly. She doesn't miss any EXP down on the bottom side, but Emerald is taking quite a bit of damage here. He should be able to sustain, but even Ash, again, beautiful changes. The Faramis can actually go over walls.
Oh no, Sabat, he's having a very difficult time. He's gonna get completely bullied out of the lane. Gonna be forced to recall back out of there. Homeboys played the safe approach by securing the orange buff and then the purple buff, allowing the Little Wanderer in the hands of Zayed. So that's gonna give a little bit more mobility in the hands of Red Esports at the early stage again. Expedia going for the harassments, but not doing too much as of yet. Red Esports going to be playing a little bit safe for now.
Yeah, Chibi should naturally start matching up against Zayed at this stage of the game. I mean, Chibi, he's going to be fast, and especially when you're on Balmond, you just need to power farm your way to victory here. Down on the EXP lane, there's nothing much that Sabat can really do, and I don't think he needs help from anybody else. So unless Red Esports wants to try and punish him, good luck. It's Benedetta. It's not the easiest in the world. However, let's have a look at the sub-emblems here as the fight from Expedia as well as Miral isn't really going to come to fruition.
I'm a little bit surprised by this emblem pickup coming from Sabat as well. I was expecting maybe the Festival of the Blood, but instead he opted to go for a little bit more damage when his HP is a little bit low. Maybe taking advantage of the skill spike to actually do a little bit more damage with Electro Final Blow, perhaps?
Well, I think he's going to go for a full tank build, especially if you are taking Unbending build. Your sustainability is not going to be there, but Chibi now in trouble. First blood achieved by Red Esports. A good setup coming in from Red to make sure that they could punish any stragglers coming in from the side of the Homeboys, and unfortunately, it just had to be Chibi.
Yeah, that's going to be a very difficult one. Sabat tried to make a play out of the situation. Now, popping the Electro Final Blow, he's a little bit stuck in a couple of terrain blocks, but Red QT, he can opt to go for the chase, but seems like he is going to be backing out, so he's going to be safe for now. Meanwhile, Ash in the middle lane, just very quick rotations with this Faramis.
Very good decisions coming in from Red Esports. Like in most cases, junglers wouldn't look to go for a kill where you cannot guarantee getting the gold, right? But he chunked out Sabat, allowing Ren QT to actually get ahead in his lane. He proxies the wave at the same time, and now, as you can see, Sabat is a level down on Ren QT.
But as of yet, seems like Red Esports, they've gotten full control. They need, from the side of Homeboys, they are going to be relying a little bit more on Expedia trying to set up a couple of kills. And as of yet, he hasn't been able to make this kind of plays. And guess what? They found him as well. Red Esports, they're looking for the fight. Here comes the Circling Eagle, catches Expedia, but seems like he's going to be A-okay. Miro needs to back off. Meanwhile, the Cult Altar is going to keep them slightly alive. A little bit redemptive measure coming from Ash, but they still got the job done. They trade a jungler for a roam for Red Esports, and they're looking for more.
Oh, Red Esports are playing hyper aggressively here. They're just scouting out for Expedia, knowing that if he calls for help, they can take the overall fight. Clean rotations from Red Esports so far. Homeboys, I wasn't expecting them to be in a position like this. I thought they could get a little bit more, but the laners have been very efficient here for Red Esports. Until right now, Mal now in some trouble as he gets hit by the execution from Expedia, but it doesn't matter. He's way too low. And with Ash and as well as Zayed to back Mal up, it is a failed attempt.
Oh, Expedia's timing could not be worse. As soon as he thought that Mao was alone. As soon as he made the jump out, everyone from side Red Esports was at the same time coming out to push the top lane. And because of that, he was caught with his pants down. That was just so unlucky. Meanwhile, Sapat taking a lot of damage coming from Red QT, Red Esports, completely dominating on all lanes as of yet.
Yep, Sapat's taking the brunt of the damage here. He is falling slowly behind. Anip is still same level as Mal so far, so he hasn't lost too much, but this next objective is going to be hard to get. Red Esports sticking together, making sure that they can't do anything. The Cult Altar has already been dropped, allowing them to take this turtle for free without any way of losing gold from the homeboys. Sapat, though, is he in trouble? Red QT, he could go for the kill, but decides to back off.
It's just not worth it. Just bullying out the lane is going to be the way to go. Meanwhile, Red Esports going for a double supportive composition is actually working him out. Mao popping the sprint with the Matilda on top of the ball, keeping him alive, is doing wonders for this carry, and they're just hyper boosting the carry from the side of Red Esports. And I don't think the Natalia can do too much, but look at this on the top side. Expedia is going for the hunt. He's got a lot of information, but what can the rest of his teammates do about this? I don't think anything, apparently.
I mean, Expedia is giving information, right? It's up to the homeboys how they want to kind of capitalize on the information relayed to them. Mal so far and Ren QT at the top of the charts of the gold ranking. Anip closely behind them by 200 gold at this point in time, but as you can see, not everybody is having the best time. Like Sabat, especially being 500 gold down, he's basically a pair of boots down. But Ren, he continues to oppress him, and he does have an EXP lead on top of it all.
Seems like it's all about buying time. Homeboys, they will be able to scale a little bit better in the later stage of the game. But it feels like Red Esports, they're just playing very defensively rather early. And let's take a look at the items real quick as well. And because as of yet, Ren QT, look at him, he's got a very early Dreadnought armor to actually tank his way through against Sapan. It's just very difficult to play against this.
Yeah, no, it's extremely difficult. There's nothing much he can really do but just stall the lane as much as he can and minimize the damage he takes. Now, Expedia spots out the potential dive coming up. Anip is playing defensively, but Vince tries to look for the punish with real one manipulation. They find it, and unfortunately, they can't do anything with the Cult Altar. Red Esports walk away with a free tier 1 top turret.
Oh, that's so annoying. They just needed some sort of kills, and Expedia right now he's hesitating to go for his dives, and as of yet, looks like they are gonna make an attempt against Mao, and they go for the dive. The sprint comes in. Mao walks out. They take down Expedia. What a clutch Camiro to save his teammates' life, and now homeboys, they have to get some sort of trades. Ash is here to say hello, but Red Esports, they still manage to keep Mom alive.
The miscalculation coming in by Expedia. Chibi didn't commit his ult because Expedia had executed. Now they lose another turret down on bottom side. Things are not looking good for homeboys. Is it salvageable? Absolutely doable. But let's look at the AI winning prediction. Whoa! How? How did they calculate this? 2 turtles and now it's 25 to 75?
That is the confidence. It's only been 2.5k economy, but it's not set in stone yet. It's only a prediction. Meanwhile, Expedia, they go for the dive onto his Ash. Ash is gonna be taken out. Supai goes in for the kill. He has the Electro blow, but he needs to make a run for it. And fortunately for him, he's gonna be able to escape it. And on top of it, Chibi steals the turtle right under the noses of Red Esports.
Wow, nicely done coming in from the homeboys. They took the initiative this time. They couldn't allow Red Esports to run in, so they dropped it early to create a safe zone that they can play in. Well done by the homeboys. I think that's a good adaptation for these potential turtle fights. I want to see how Red Esports is going to resolve this in the next 95 seconds.
Well, this is the mid-game stage and homeboys has been looking forward to as well. They've been struggling for quite some time now. With a little bit more items, you can start to see that Chibi as well as Sapat is starting to have this tankiness that they are required to kind of buy time and make space for Expedia to do his thing. But as of yet, Expedia, he's got a long way to go. He's 0-2-2. He hasn't been able to one-shot the supports and the backlines for Red Esports yet.
No, not just yet. I think Red Esports are playing a very strong rotational game here. They're going in pairs. They're trading off with each other every single time they move around. They are afraid of Expedia, and they want to minimize his effectiveness. Like, look at that. The buddy system is working out nicely.
Yep. They have to bait on the count out once
Oh.
again. But here comes the real elimination. They go in for the count out, and they are going to go in for the full dive, but they get the resurrect back online, and Zion is going to get taken out. This the amount of damage from HOMEBOIS is a little bit too much. Mao tries to take out Ani and eventually gets him, but he's at 1 HP slide, and he slides away from the guiding lead. Supat is trying so hard to take him out, but the side steps from Mao a little bit too much for HOMEBOIS to handle, and Vince is also gonna fall, and that's gonna be Red Esports shutting them all out.
Woo, what a beautiful play coming out from Red Esports. A great outplay coming in from Mal, dodging and sidestepping the dashes from Electo. Supat has done the work. GB, it might be the next to fall. Ren QT is going to bait him out. Expedia, he wants it, but he knows he can't finish the job.
Oh, the count outs are coming from Ash, just so difficult to punish, and it's frustrating. HOMEBOIS, they got the damage, but having a second life is just disgusting. This is like a free immortality for every one of the teammates.
I mean, remember, this is just temporary health, right? It's so little, and you would think that, hey, it probably doesn't make a difference, but look at the damage Ash is chunking out in these team fights. He's 22,000. He's literally 4,000 above Ren QT. I mean, Mal is eventually going to catch up when he has the items, as we saw before, but still, it is outstanding.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about how Mao was able to navigate this situation, because now the fight comes in, they're going for the snipe, they take him out. As soon as they say that, the curse comes in, the counter has been expanded. HOMEBOIS, they need to disengage. They take him all out, but Supat from behind, he needs to cut the back lines, but he doesn't have the Electo final blow, and that's going to be Red Esports disengaging from that fight.
That's 3 ults for 3 ults here. Red Esports, technically, if they wanted to, they could start the Lord early, but they have a lot of maintenance and housekeeping to do in the lanes, especially when you know that you have Supat playing the Benedetta up on that top side. You cannot afford to give him these free towers.
Yeah, this is exactly what HOMEBOIS has been eyeing for. Going for the split push pressure. Red Esports got a little bit too confident. Mao has been playing really, really well, but at the same time, this is the power what Natalia brings to the table, right? One wrong move from the back lines, Mao is pretty much dead. However, Supat, he's gonna get caught out. That's gonna be a downfall for him, and now Red Esports, they are gonna go for the Lord Pit fight as well. Expedia goes in for the snipe, but Count Outer saves the day, and they are gonna be A-OK. Ren QT doing a fantastic job zoning HOMEBOIS to take the Lord for themselves.
Yeah, this is great because Red Esports are utilizing this Cult Altar as a deterrent against the HOMEBOIS. They're saying, hey, it's either you cut through our temp HP or you wait it out. If you wait it out, you lose Lord. And it also works as a secondary safe space for members like Miral, for an example, who jumped right into the backline, technically would have died if not for having to flicker into the Cult Altar and telling the rest of the HOMEBOIS, hey, you want to commit to me, you better commit hard.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very difficult obstacle, but as of yet, HOMEBOIS, they're struggling, but for now, the biggest obstacle, one step at a time, and that's going to be focusing on the Lord. Ren QT not going to be making it easy. Look at him. He's trying to isolate Anim as much as they can. Meanwhile, Expedia tries to go for the kill. Unfortunately, just a little bit too difficult for him.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in here, especially with the Lord empowered minions as well. They've gotten quite a bit off it, but again, it hadn't turned into a luminous or enhanced version, no matter what you call it. No inhibitors have fallen. Mal recently purchased a Winds of Nature.
With this Winds of Nature, he's going to be able to survive a little bit more as well. So not going to be an easy thing for Expedia to actually do unless they get the one-shot silence right after from the get-go. If not, the Winds of Nature is pretty much going to be popped off, and I don't think Vince can do too much in this situation as well, because as soon as he pops real mutation, Ash is going to be there to provide assistance for the rest of the team. So this is a difficult job for Vince right now.
Well, I think Vince, as of yet, right? Yes, his ultimate is kind of negated for now, but the question is, how long will it take for them to scale? Because Red Esports, with the lead, with the 5K lead they have, it's not impossible to turn over. If it becomes a 10K lead, I think then it becomes a little tough. But at 12 minutes into the game, HOMEBOIS just need to hold on for another 4 minutes. When Vince gets his third item, that's when Red Esports is going to have a problem.
Yep, Expedia already trying to go in for the cut waves as well, and Miro, no!
Oh,
Mao, the count out is going to keep him alive. That was last pixel as well, right at the sides, and Supat will get the kill, and that's going to be him going for the price as HOMEBOIS finds a pixel perfect moment to take him out.
Oh, that's got to be the worst. That literally is the worst. Mal getting isolated for jumping way too far. A commitment with the Cult Altar as well. Let's look at the Lord Push advantage. Again, they were able to get a lot of structural damage, but in terms of gold and EXP earned, that's not bad. 2.8 at this stage of the game. Still at a 5K goal lead. Somewhat of a 5K goal lead. Red Esports just needs to look for that big finisher.
Agreed, but as of yet, they need to find a way to protect Mao as much as they can. Miro doesn't have the A gear, so that's going to be flickers available, but Mao needs some way to survive the initial burst coming from everyone from the side of Homeboys. As long as he survives, all is well, because the counter is going to give him so much value in these team fights, and Homeboys, all they got to do is just play for time, play for objectives, play for catches, and they have been able to find opportunities like this.
Yeah.
And if they keep finding it, Red Esports might actually lose the game.
Nah, Red Esports is just a little bit better on the macro sense. Look at the top side; it's already shoved in pretty hard, and that wave is going to stack. When the next one crashes, it still should be a pushing wave towards Red Esports' favor. So they've got a deterrent here, and Homeboys need to make a decision right here, right now. Do they take this fight? Do they try to bait something out? If they can bait the Cult Altar, that would be great. But how do they disengage?
Yeah, they are very afraid of Expedia. Look at him, Expedia going for the back lines. He wants to go in for the snipe on the Mao. He's waiting patiently. As soon as he comes, they take him out. That's going to be Mao in the equation. Electro final blow zones are red. The countouts are not able to save him out, and they're all stuck in a corner. The damage has been done, but the countouts gives them the second chance, and that's going to be the disengage coming in. And Homeboys are very happy with that pickoff.
What a great synchronization between Expedia and as well as Subbat. Subbat jumping right in, Expedia starting off the engagement onto Mal. Both of them using their executes to ensure Mal's death, and with a lot of damage, a lot of just DPS being taken away from Red Esports, they are just left with Zayed, who can only burst one person down at a time.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit difficult on Ash. He's got to be wary of his ultimate timings. He's got to be a little bit quicker when it comes to saving him out, because once they hit really, really hard. Homeboys taking this advantage, equalizes the economy, and this time they are going to get a little bit more objectives out of it with this Lord.
Yep, with the Luminous Lord, it has the passive to push through that 5K goal lead. We were talking about it. Absolutely gone now. It is now down to a 300 to 500 goal lead, and Homeboys could easily start cracking and thinking about the outer turrets. They already got bottom tier 2, and now it's just mid tier 2 left.
Patience is going to be the key. Red Esports, they need the big jump once again, and as of yet, Homeboys just pummeling their way through. They need to find a way to make sure that Mao doesn't get picked off once again. And currently, we did see an itemization from Mao. Full 5-man items, damage items, but no defensive items up on him. So that's going to be a worrisome bunch for him.
Yeah, that is a little bit worrisome, but I don't know. It's really going to come down to the precision of these team fights, right? Red Esports, it's about timing and how they protect their main carries. And I think Mal and Ash have to really work in tandem with each other, because if we're looking at damage, RenQT still on top for his team, but Chibi caught up so very quickly despite the rough start that he got.
How? Just how? His 1, 2, and 4 is top goal ranking. He's been farming really, really quickly. And this is the Chibi that we've known him for the past few seasons. No matter what, he's going to be able to top GPM, and I just don't understand how he does it. It's crazy. I
mean, he didn't decide to take Demon Slayer this time around. He made sure that he is obtaining more gold per camp, because he knows he can power farm faster than most junglers in the game so far. But here we go, Expedia now scouting out for information, with the rest of Red Esports just waiting on the top side of the map in case they see that exclamation mark appear above their heads.
It's all about the waiting game. It's all about patience. They know how annoying Expedia is. But as of yet, Homeboys, they have a rough idea where Red Esports is, and that's going to be on the top side. But as soon as they sound Matilda, look at this. Expedia is turning his focus down on the bottom side. They want to take them all. But before that, let's talk about the Lord advantage.
Now, this is a significantly better Lord push advantage compared to Red Esports' initial tempo. Let's also remember that it is a Luminous Lord, so they almost guarantee a single turret. With 4,000 gold earned, now eventually pushing up to 1,000, that's almost a 5,000 gold turnaround for the Homeboys.
Homeboys now with the Lord Pit coming up. This time they are going to be on their ends to try and bait this out, but no reaction so far coming from Red Esports yet. Chibi Gonna be zoning them out. Miro gonna be opening up the map, check things out, but seems like they are gonna concede the Lord Pit and go in for the reset. But here comes the force fight.
Let's see how they're gonna commit to this. Miro so far taking way more damage than he should. With immortality up for him, he's a little bold, a little brave. But Expedia, they're looking for him. Where is he? Where is this Natalia? Mal is gonna stay very close to Ashe in case the Cult Altar needs to be procced right now. But again, the baiting game continues. They still are looking for these linchpins, these opportunities to get into the fight.
Yeah, and as of yet, Homeboys, they realize that there's a lot of immortalities coming from Red Esports on top of the Cult Altar. Meanwhile, Homeboys only got, I think, one on Serpat as well as Chibi. So that's not enough to actually go in for the body trades here. But Expedia, look at him. Playing very, very patiently. He's been looking for the right target, but he can't seem to find Mao yet. He roughly has an idea, but Ashe is sitting right beside Mao, making sure forcing Expedia to go in for this fight is going to be his mistake for now.
Yep. Once again, GB can almost guarantee a Lord take here with his ultimate, the lethal counter, as well as the retribution. It's more than enough bad damage. They're looking to burst it down. GB, he goes away, but can he commit to it? Yes, he finds it as the Cult Altar is pushed. They're running straight into the real world manipulation. They don't care. They have to take this full fight. They've lost the Cult Altar, and now everybody is on the run. Top wave already crashing in. Red Esports misses the timing.
Yep, and look at this, Expedia. He's gonna go in for a couple of fights. Red Esports, they didn't exactly lose too much. I'm very surprised that Homeboys was able to get out of it scot-free. And look at the zones coming in. Vince is gonna try and bully Red Esports in towards the base. So, as of yet, seems like Red Esports, they definitely dropped the ball in that fight.
I think Homeboys just played it really well, right? They pulled it through, they delayed it as much as they can. They were trying to bait out a reaction from Red Esports, and right up till that final moment, Homeboys were waiting at the last second to make a call. With the damage dealt from Vince, crazy. But look at that, the AI now turning over. Interesting. Where have I seen this before? 48% for the Homeboys versus 52% for Red Esports.
Well, our AI is doing work, but as of yet, Red Esports, they're going to be having the Lord knocking on their door, but no big Electro final blow coming from Serpat forces the counter out. They're all stuck. The real elimination catches them all. Red Esports, they're so slow. They're stuck, and Red QT might be the sacrificial lamb as Homeboys has to take him out, but Red QT gets saved by the gliding wind, and Red Esports still prevails, but they still lose all their outer inhibitor. And as of yet, Miro will be picked off, and that's a big catch coming from Homeboys.
The Homeboys crowd fans here are screaming for their team as they are looking to end this here against Red Esports. One man down, no inhibitors to protect them. Homeboys, can they close this out? It looks like Red QT is already down. They find Cyan. Ashe is still holding on, but he's seeing his members down one by one. A double kill as Vince has scaled. They end the crystal. That is going to be the Homeboys taking game number one. GG, well played.
I did not expect the turn around, and Homeboys, they found the opportunity, they played it patiently, and they got the big win against Red Esports. That was a